The strongest survives expression has the most direct meaning in the wild. The principles, rules, and orders that have long reigned among animals can greatly shock and even frighten because survival is a way of life for animals. This is not something rare or unique. Today, we have prepared for you a video that will clearly show you how aggressive, angry, and ruthless animals can be. If you're ready to witness terrifying footage and shocking facts, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and start watching it immediately. Hunger makes animals do extremely dangerous things. This leopard runs down a snowy slope after a mountain goat, risking its own life in the hope of catching its victim for lunch. Attacking one buffalo with a pride of lions. Even though they are considered kings of animals, their actions can be very unscrupulous. The eagle quickly grabbed the little sheep and carried it to its nest on the top. The poor thing had no chance to escape from the deadly grip of this bird of prey. This is a fight for life. Two elephants with powerful tusks and strong bodies attack each other with incredible aggression and power. When they attack each other, the ground in the area shudders, and other predators do not dare to attack. This is what happens when two of the largest land animals engage in a duel. It is impossible to watch the battle of two bears without interest because their fights are always epic, cruel, unpredictable, and therefore incredibly interesting. If the lions begin to fight for something, then all other animals become silent in fear. These two males are fighting for the right to be the leader of the pride. There can only be one winner in such a battle, the one who actually can survive in such a brutal, ruthless, and epic battle. If we see several magnificent maned lions fighting at once, then the struggle is not for power, but for something much more significant. Wildebeest almost managed to escape from predators, but they got into the mud from which they could not quickly get out, which greatly slowed them down. The lioness certainly had enough time to catch up with the unfortunate animals. Three hyenas have clung to a small calf and are not going to let it go. Not only have these animals attacked a lonely, defenseless, and very small animal, but they also deal with it as ruthlessly and rudely as possible. As they say, the neighbor's grass is always greener. Apparently, this herd of rhinoceroses and wild bulls believe this proverb because the two strongest representatives entered into a life and death battle to prove the right of the relatives to graze alone on the greenest field. If the crocodile has no equal in the water, then on land, this reptile is better to stay away from all kinds of conflicts. This crocodile bravely confronts three lionesses, but the numerical advantage and the fact that it was on land played a decisive role in determining the winners. A wild dog grabbed an antelope cub by the leg and did not want to let go because this was its chance to finally have a delicious meal. The captured animal realized that it could escape into the water and tried to enter it with the last of its strength. Fortunately, it was lucky to do that. The antelope was able to reach the deep waters, and the predator had to let it go. The African buffalo knows how to stand up for itself. Thanks to its sharp horns and powerful physique, this animal successfully manages to fight back even the most dangerous predators. If you were wondering who would win the rhino versus buffalo battle, we have the answer. It looks like the rhinoceros is still stronger. Often a lone antelope is a perfect prey for a hungry predator, but not this time. Despite the fact that there is no place for principles in the wild world, confidence and strength are still there. Just look at how proudly the lioness fights off wild dogs, which, even if they outnumber it, cannot hide their poor origin and cowardice. That's what happens when a predator mistakes a rival. This lioness won't be able to go hunting again soon. The shark surfaced at great speed and very quickly captured a small seal with its mouth. What an eerie sight! It looks like the donkey wanted to make friends with zebras, but they apparently do not much like newcomers in their herd. They are very aggressive towards outsiders. Bison can live peacefully, but if someone tries to mess with them, they will quickly enter into a confrontation with the offender. The most powerful weapon the hippo has is its powerful jaws. Therefore, it is not surprising that they use them in conflict situations. Do not be surprised, there are no principles in the animal kingdom. An adult lion can attack a small elephant that got lost and found itself in the real world without maternal protection. They can also attack it from behind when it's not expected at all. Hunger overtook the polar bear so much that it decided to take a chance and find itself a meal among the whole crowd of walruses without waiting for one of them to fight off the rest. At first, the predator had difficulties as the alleged victims began to stand up for each other, but over time, it still managed to defeat one of them. Lionesses are well-known hunters. These predators are famous for their ability to choose the right prey and deal with it in a matter of minutes. However, it happens that the strategy fails and these rulers of the animal world drive themselves into a trap like this time. Tigers are the biggest wild cats in the world. That's why the confrontation between two males of this species looks so epic. The reason for their conflict may be related to the struggle for leadership, a female, or food. There is a reason why we associate bulls with brutality. Just look at how fiercely two angry bulls clashed in battle. They strike blow after blow and none of them is going to finish or give up. Apparently this fight will end only when one of the rivals is completely defeated. The hippo's best weapon is its jaw. The length of their incisors can reach even up to half a meter. The collision of two moose is rarely seen. This is a fairly rare phenomenon, the reason for which is often the same. They always fight for females. Do you know that most female conflicts are the most terrible? The lionesses attacked one of them so ruthlessly that the king of the beasts itself had to intervene. However, it failed to resolve the conflict in the pride. Moose are the largest of the deer family. Their height at the withers reaches up to 2.5 meters. They grow up to 3 meters in length, and their weight is around 500 to 600 kilograms. Thanks to these impressive characteristics, everything in the area shudders due to the collision of two males. Now we have a confrontation between two representatives of the same family. Two bison attack each other over and over again, inflicting heavier and more painful blows. With each passing second, the tension is getting higher, and the consequences for both rivals are becoming more and more irreversible. During the mating season, American bison males fight amongst themselves, seriously, desperately, and cruelly, not for the sake of victory, but in order to get injured, which can become a decisive factor for the female when choosing a groom, because they will show its endurance and ability to protect the family. Primates are very primitive creatures. If a conflict arises, the only way to resolve it is a fight. And of course, the one who prevailed will come out of this situation right. The hyena caught the gazelle by surprise and grabbed its leg so hard that it was enough to wait for the rest of the pack to kill this poor thing. The battle between two small animals usually does not look as exciting as the fight between these two warthogs. These two clearly had a very serious issue. The moose is a very majestic and beautiful animal. It would walk slowly among the mountain slopes and impress everyone with its incredible horns. Unfortunately, these two representatives of the moose family decided that it was much more interesting to fight each other than just peacefully coexist. Monkeys are always like children. They like nothing better than play for the audience. These animals can live without attention, recognition, and applause. The leopard grabbed the gazelle in a death grip. No matter how hard the animal tries to get rid of these deadly bonds, it seems impossible to do so. Attacking a cub with its mother next to it is the stupidest thing a predator can do. Mothers are always the same. They will do everything they can to not let the child be offended. The monitor lizard is a strong and dangerous animal, but slowness is its weak point. This is what allowed the deer to save its life and not end up in the clutches of the dragon. If you can't catch your own lunch, then you have to steal it from other predators. The leopard saw a hyena, lonely and tired after hunting, which was peacefully finishing its catch. Without thinking a lot, it simply took away its food. The rams are extremely conflicted creatures. These creatures don't even need a reason to fight and prove their endless stubbornness. Usually rams face each other one-on-one, but what can we do when there are three of them and everyone wants a conflict? It would seem that the cheetah had already defeated and taken the life of a baby zebra, but its mother did not give up and still managed to save the child. In a one-on-one battle, a hyena would certainly defeat a wild dog, but when faced with a whole army, the only way to survive is to run away at the speed of light. To defeat a crocodile, one needs to lure it out of the water onto land and quickly deal with it. The lionesses fulfilled the first part of the plan, but did not have time for the second, as the reptile quickly realized what was happening and returned home. There is no one scarier than a mother who protects the child. No mother will run for her life in fear when the child is abused. Just look at how strong and dangerous a seemingly quiet and fearful doe can be. This is a confrontation between two strong predators that rarely collide with each other. It always looks interesting. On one side we have a big, strong, and powerful bear, and on the other, a tiger, which boasts of its speed, agility, and strength. I have to say that both opponents are equally strong and fast. Eagles are not just strong birds, they are also famous for their wisdom. If this glorious bird has chosen a victim for itself, then it is 100% likely to become its dinner. Let this badger serve as an example to all of us and remind us that we will always have time to give up, so we need to fight to the very last end. Despite the fact that the situation turned out to be hopeless because it was surrounded by two coyotes that greatly surpassed it in size, the little animal did not give up and continued to fight to the end. As you can see, it achieved its goal, it broke free, and got a second chance. The deer thought that water was its salvation, but the bear did not disdain to get wet and overtook the animal in the middle of the reservoir. This is the reality of wild nature. No sooner had the gazelle escaped from one trouble than another had already found it. What a serious fight, isn't it? In fact, during the mating season, rhinos often fight amongst themselves in order to prove their right to one or another female. These two males came together in a duel. It'll be difficult to determine the winner. What a terrible fight, don't you agree? These two buffaloes met in a duel in order to prove their superiority, and of course, to choose the right to mate with the best female. This is why predators often hunt together, because they do not have a chance with every animal alone. Giraffes fight with nothing but their necks because this is the strongest part of their body. The purpose of such punches is to knock the opponent down. If you ask what are the reasons for the fights of giraffes, then my answer will not surprise you at all because, as always, it's about the female and power. No matter what kind of males, whether they are lions or sea elephants, they will always fight with each other for females, power, and respect. This zebra did not panic when it was grabbed by a crocodile and therefore was able to figure out and fight off a cold-blooded predator even in its usual habitat. Crocodiles are cannibals, which is why the reason for their battles is not always obvious. We can't say the same about bulls. Everything's simple here. What an eerie sight! The wildebeest is fighting for its life with the last of its strength, but unfortunately, it is still unsuccessful. A snake is not the best choice for predatory lionesses. It is a worthy and dangerous opponent, but there is very little meat in it, so it'll definitely not be enough to feed the entire pride. You may not have known, but raccoons are the real predators. They often feed on insects and amphibians, but as you can see, it happens that various snakes and lizards come to hand. The white lion has a unique genetic mutation. Due to its rarity, such a male poses a special threat to ordinary relatives in the struggle for power, and therefore, it is often subject to attacks from other lions. This is another confirmation that even the calmest and most peaceful are capable of terrible conflicts, unbridled emotions, and rash actions. This baby zebra saw an animal similar to itself and thought that it would agree to play with it, but that was not the case. The big black horse did not want to spend time with the child and simply drove it away. What an unexpected twist! Sometimes even a small, slow, and harmless animal can greatly frighten a large animal. I wonder what is the reason for the conflict between these two relatives. Do not forget that the ancestors of dogs are wolves, so if necessary, a real beast can break out of four-legged friends, which can be very dangerous for even the strongest predators. An adult gorilla can weigh up to 230 kilograms, which is impressive. Just imagine how the earth shudders when two such males get into a fight with each other. What kind of speed did this zebra develop that all that was left for the predator was to swallow dust because there was no way to catch up with the striped animal? The bear is used to the fact that the entire forest is scared of it, so it decides to attack these farm pigs. As you can see, it regretted this very quickly because it turned out that these boars know how to stand up for themselves. The baby seal fell behind its parents and, much to its horror, found itself alone on the shore, far from its relatives. The jackal did not miss such a rare and successful opportunity and immediately attacked the baby. As one might expect, the ending is obvious here. Just look at this free spirit. After all, it is true that wild horses are very different from those born in captivity. The confrontation between two gorillas looks epic and captures the spirit of everyone watching, doesn't it? These powerful primates rush at each other, striking at the same time with extraordinary force. It seems that the rivals have equal strength since the accumulated experience, weight, and build are almost identical. In everyday life, squirrels are just harmless and small rodents, but if someone threatens their lives, then a real beast breaks out of them. Every predator knows that attacking a zebra from behind is a bad idea because a kick with the hind hooves can be the last in the life of a risky predator. Dogs are very loyal. They will defend the house where they are loved with special courage. Of course, the crocodile won't even notice their attempts to defeat it, but the courage of these dogs is impressive. A stately and majestic deer with horns of incredible beauty was overtaken by a pack of hungry wolves. They did not slowly admire the beauty of the animal, they simply and quickly dealt with it since they wanted to eat. It seems to us that we have tamed and domesticated many animals for a very long time, but despite this, sometimes the true beast breaks out even from the most humble of them. Don't be fooled by the attractive appearance of a swan. Such an incredible beauty never negates the true essence that is hidden deep inside. Swans are cool and dangerous predators, especially for those who are much smaller and weaker than them. Deer are incredibly proud animals that don't know how to give up or be second best. If they've entered into a confrontation with a rival for power, a female, territory, or food, then only one will come out of this battle alive. Just look at this monkey. It thought that because of its advantage in height and strength, otters would not dare to fight back, but that wasn't the case. They were able to quickly put the bully in its place. No matter how old a dog is, it always remains the puppy that always wants to play. It was a pity that the horse was not up to fun games, so it quickly drove away annoying dogs with its hoof. A shark and a stingray chose not the best place to fight. It was definitely a mistake to arrange a battle on the sand. Mongooses are famous snake hunters. No matter how dangerous, fast, and cruel the snake might be, small animals know their business perfectly and will never leave alone those whom they've hunted for centuries in a row. Such a confrontation of deer can last a very long time, be tedious, and end in an extremely banal way. Their horns can simply get stuck in each other. I would call it the battle of the century. The octopus and the sea eel clashed in a battle for life. None of them is going to give up or retreat. Each of them pounces on the opponent with special zeal and aggression. This fight is breathtaking, even for those who are just watching it on the screen. Wild dogs noticed several cows and a calf gazing peacefully. The cunning dogs immediately noticed easy prey in these animals because they greatly outnumbered them. The dogs ran into the ungulates in a herd, and after some time, the number became the decisive factor in this battle. The deer did not like that the buffalo entered its territory. The animals started butting heads. Their clash lasted a very long time and did not contain any epic offensives. After all, the one with thicker horns and more strength was able to win. The eagle made a brilliant move when he grabbed the crane by the leg. This was supposed to confuse the long-legged bird and give the eagle time to fly high. As you can see, nothing happened, because the crane did not lose its vigilance, but on the contrary, it got even more angry and freed itself. It's time for everyone in the wild world to learn. Don't you dare approach the honey badger. This animal only at first glance seems small, weak, and even defenseless. In fact, it is a formidable predator who can put even a whole pack of hyenas in their place. For many centuries, people have been watching animals, and now they can tell for sure which of the animals is the winner and who often becomes the victim. Usually, lizards are easy prey for snakes, but this is an exceptional case because here, these two have turned the tables. This backstroke deserves a loud ovation. Be sure to watch this moment again and enjoy such a clear hit from the back. This gazelle is well aware that if it stops now or slackens even for a moment, the predators will overcome it in a matter of seconds, so this hardy animal continues to fight for its life and looks like it has a chance to stay alive. This rabbit race is the best thing I've seen today. I'm ready to watch this magnificent action again and again. What about you? Two nimble dogs attacked a bull, which, although it is a large and unwieldy beast, can nevertheless offer decent resistance. As you can see, it quickly dispersed these intruders. Two lionesses came across a lone monitor lizard in the middle of a field and decided to try their luck because it seemed like easy prey to them. But that was not the case. The lizard began to fight back with its powerful tail, which greatly puzzled the predators, who could not figure out what to do with this beast. The lioness caught the wildebeest by surprise and even won, but still could not overcome it. The octopus grabbed a huge crab and, digging into its body with its beak, began to secrete poisonous saliva, which paralyzed the animal and caused it to stop breathing. Then the food enzymes of the same saliva began to break down the victim's body, and the octopus was able to have a delicious meal. Teasing the eagle, even in a cage, was a big mistake of the heron. The proud bird did not tolerate humiliation and even managed to teach the emboldened scoundrel a lesson through the wall. Unfortunately, this lamb does not know how to choose its rivals in size because it rushes at those who are clearly too tough for it. This is the first time I've seen such an aggressive turtle. Often it is these reptiles that become victims who need to be saved, but this time the situation is clearly different. The turtle delivers powerful blows to the jellyfish, and then its jaws come into play. The turtle swims peacefully, enjoying the warm rays of the sun and pleasant weather. It doesn't even know what kind of danger is floating right beneath it. There can only be one king of the court. As you can imagine, this proud rooster is not going to give up its place even to such an aggressive dog. Just look at how quickly this bird put an impudent dog in its place. As you can see, ignorance can save your life. The kitten does not understand how dangerous his opponent is, and therefore confidently attacks, which greatly shocks the snake, which is used to everyone running away from it. It looks like the cats are very emboldened. This representative of the family is also not afraid to attack first. All predators should be aware of a horse strike from behind and, if possible, attack from the front. Otherwise, you can even lose your life. The crocodile firmly grabbed the cow with its teeth and was not going to let it go. Hyenas often hunt in packs, which gives them a significant advantage over their prey, which they catch by surprise and even completely alone. This time, as you can see, the predator decided to take a chance and test its strength on its own. Such an attempt failed. This is a perfect illustration of all the current conflicts. Everyone is ready to bark through the wall, but almost no one is ready to face their opponent face to face. Am I wrong, or is everyone who has horns constantly looking for an excuse to fight? What do you think? These guys don't even need a serious conflict to test their dignity in practice. I don't know why the monkey mercilessly took the little duckling from its mother. Whether it was hunger or just having nothing to do and wanting to mess with someone, it doesn't change the essence of the matter. The duck tried its best to save the duckling, but it couldn't. Monkeys are extremely emotional animals. If they get into a serious fight with anyone, then they fight fiercely, desperately, and until their very last breath. In this case, size played a crucial role. This is a desert fox cub, but it is much larger than an adult snake. The outcome of this battle is obvious. The relationship between parents and children is always the same, both in the human world and in the animal world. This mother monkey wanted to help the child who, as you can see, was not going to go the easy way, for which it actually had to be punished. Do you know that a monitor lizard is not an ordinary lizard? This little dragon is a serious rival who is able to not only adequately resist, but effectively overcome the most formidable, frightening, and powerful predators on the planet. The eagle decided not to strain himself and quickly had dinner with a small crab, but that turned out to be far from simple. Take a look at this incredibly lively, frisky, and insanely willing to live animal. As you can see, the bird greatly regretted its wrong choice and remained hungry. Individually, penguins are weak and even defenseless, but if they unite, then it becomes not so easy to defeat them. Watching adult males, the cubs begin to copy their behavior and also engage in meaningless fights. This naive animal does not yet understand that the blow from behind this cow is so strong that even after it, you can die. That's what happens when two animals, completely different in temperament, collide. While one tries to smooth out the conflict with kind hugs, the other provokes the opponent to aggression in every possible way. Iguana versus snake. In such a confrontation, the second usually wins, but not this time. The lizard has finally decided to end this vicious circle and reach a new level of the food chain. I have to say that it looks like it did it. Once again, I am convinced that it's all about confidence and inner strength. Who will win in this battle of the century? It is simply impossible to give an answer in advance. But one thing is absolutely clear, it's impossible to have two winners here. Everything is dangerous in the wild. A hungry predator can wait for you even in places when you don't expect to have such a meeting. Don't forget to share the most impressive moment of this episode in the comments below. See you soon.